Live. Check, check, live, live. Are we live? We are live. Live, live, live. All right. Mic check is good. Cool. Welcome everyone to the monthly Q&A live stream on my channel here. As always, thank you for tuning in, and I will start with community post questions. It's a post that I put out right at the beginning of every month, and people can write their questions there in the comments, or they ask them in the chat here when we kind of do this, and I interact with everyone. So, what's up, KP? Thanks for tuning in, heathen brother. All right. So again, to start off, I will answer community post questions, and then doobly doo, free for all, shoot the breeze here in the chat with everyone. So, bear with me while I get these taken care of. Thanks again for tuning in, all new people. Come on in, say hey, do the things, and yeah, all that good stuff. Looks like there were some updates to YouTube Studio as well. It's either going to be this month or next month is going to be the last month with the camera that I'm using right now. I've got a buddy hooking me up with a 1080p camera, so that should help for future live streams. I'm going to trade him a little bit of gear for one. So, alrighty. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I'm going to get to these community post questions and then hang out for about 2 hours here in the chat with everyone. So, DCHSV. Hey, brother. Thanks for tuning in. Anyone else coming in, say hey. All right, community post questions real quick here. First one from Tom Bonner. Bonner Tom. Do you think the U.S. should commit ground forces in conflict areas like Ukraine, Venezuela, and now Iran? Not really, no. If there's a contingent need for specialized assets, and we do have boots on the ground as advisors in Ukraine, that's a known thing. Private sector as well. There's a lot of private sector actors, which that's a lot more palatable for the American public, is to use shadow services and private sector people, which is there's opportunity there for defense contracts. But in large, no, not for these exercises. I mean, as long as the cohesion between diplomatic administrations, your State Department, and all that, and the governments that we're trying to assist into coming into office in these countries, like Venezuela and Iran, as long as that transition is good, is strong, healthy, things like that, there really isn't a need for ground forces to come in. There's some other nuances going on with the current Middle Eastern conflict that, are rapidly developing in very fluid situations. So I'm not going to go too much into those. But there's a lot that we need to do since we've decided to take the military action that we have. There's things that we need to do in order to end this situation quickly. Full bore, as far as that goes. But as far as boots on the ground, no, not in large. No, we don't need to. We can support how we can. But again, it's going to come down to solid diplomacy. So our government needs to remove head from 6 point of contact and do things the right way. I'll leave it at that, right? Yep, Britt. Yep. I realized it was you, Britt. I appreciate you tuning in, brother. Next question. From Large Ogre. So 10 gauge. Ogre. He asked, DJ, ever thinking of setting up shop in a different state if you could afford it? No, I love it here. I love my state, and I love the climate and a number of other things. It's actually very very reasonable to live here. Not a super high cost of living, even though housing marketing prices, I've had tirades about that before. Not going to go into that. Cost of living overall, though, even with how bad the economy is, we can still get by. It's not easy, but we can. and that's kind of how it is in a lot of places. But as far as my state goes, and other states in the Midwest like Missouri and stuff, we're the most affordable places in the area in the region. So I love it here. No, I don't see myself really living anywhere else unless like a drastic change of some kind is needed for some reason or another. Um, that is far beyond any foresight that I have, though. I love it here. Um, best state in the North Midwest, in my opinion. So, no, I'm not moving anytime soon. Besides within the state. Um, let's see. And so a question by Sheep Kashore 3308, a 50/50 Nyko Ripstop Frac T update. I am still in talks and in process with the next licensee materials supplier and fabric printer company. Um yeah, Bama is pretty reasonable. I don't want to live in the South though. No offense. It's too warm for my liking. Um Brit. Um, so with Fracti, so I am trying to secure a licensing partnership with another textile printer that does do ripstop for uniforms and things like that. But even with that, I would need to find a domestic uniform manufacturer. It'll be easier once that licensing partnership is secured. It's a longer process because they're not set up the same way as my current licensee printer and materials provider is. They don't have a direct retail platform, which they're more open to that discussion. This other larger mill and printer, they're more open to that discussion and the possibility of them integrating a direct sales platform like Camo Fabric Depot is for shot fabrics. Um, so it's a process though. I was waiting for this potential partner to get undyed material in so then we can start doing strike off test print, but a strike off is over $500. Um, so it's having the right capital and at the right time and when they have material in. I haven't heard too much from them lately, so I need to reach out to them and do a conference call. But that's where the update is for that right now as far as ripstop goes. For uniforms and stuff, it's still an ongoing process, but eventually we're going to get there. So just bear with me while you can. I'll talk more about the Fracti stuff after I finish answering the community post questions here. And then I've got some of the samples that you guys have seen before here and stuff, but you know, it just is what it is. Especially because like textile printers, my patterns have to use advanced digital print formats. You can't use rotary or roller screen printing for my stuff because the design does not allow that. It's more randomized over a larger swatch. Um, you would need like 7 times the amount of screens in order to do it, and each screen is $5 to $10,000. It's not feasible. So digital formats, so your sublimation printing, various forms of inkjet, which is similar to roller, but in the digital sense, and then a couple of other things, forms of digital printing are what's required. So this other textile printer that I'm talking to, they're a pretty large outfit, and they do have those capabilities to include for webbing and stuff too. So again, ongoing process. So we're getting there. It's just it does take time. Nothing. This stuff really doesn't happen overnight that quickly. Um, even the current printer Rainier fabrics and stuff, it took a little time to kind of figure things out. And I had to do file conversions and stuff and all that to make sure that they were printing okay, which there was just a misprint issue. So one of the files had to be retest printed. I may have to do a quick file correction. It takes like 20 minutes to do a file correction. So may have to do that too for one of the patterns, but little trial and error there, and that's okay. No real harm or foul there. So but even that partnership, it took a couple of weeks for that to come through. So obviously with a larger printer that doesn't have the same logistical setup for direct order and stuff like that, and more of a large MOQ, minimum order quantity kind of bulk producer, it's difficult. So we're trying to figure something out with them with that because capital and logistics that are just outside of many smaller businesses, my own included. So, um, I will get to that here shortly, KP. So that's a good question. Um, Sheep sure, but that's kind of where the things are right now. So, and be sure to watch my recent update video that I posted on Monday. I kind of gave an overview of where things are right now too. Um, so last question here from the community post, Large Ogre. Since we attacked Bomb Iran, do you think there will be multiple cells activated across the USA? Yeah, there's already bolos and alerts going out and stuff. Um, that's the bread and butter as far as TTPs for the Iranians. That's how they do things. They work closely with cells around the globe. They do a lot of weapons and resource provision. They provide training. I mean, the whole EFP IED issue that we were dealing with in Iraq during the GWAT, that was the Iranians had come up with that, which is basically a shape charge projectile of like a copper disc or plate, sometimes steel. Basically, when it's a directional blast IED, and that stuff penetrates armor and then splatters and spalls on the inside of the vehicle, causing a lot of casualty. That was their design. So they taught insurgent groups how to use that, how to do that, how to make those. Apart from Iranian militias and Iranian-backed insurgent groups that were operating in the country as well. So that's kind of their bread and butter as far as tactics and how they conduct themselves in connection to groups and individuals around the globe. So, yes, it is a very real risk. Make sure you're doing your risk and threat assessments and keeping track of things for your regional area. Um, it's going to be different depending on where you are and what the demographic is. That's part of risk assessment. So, be sure you're doing those things. If you don't have a handle on how to do that stuff, there's a lot of resources out there. Um, I may share a post or something in the future and do an additional video on risk assessment assets and tools. I do have to be a little careful about some information I share because some of it should be kind of held close to the chest, so to speak, for private groups and private organizations and stuff. But there's plenty of resources out there that you can utilize. There are tools out there. There's great alert systems. Obviously, check out S2 Underground um, and a number of other platforms that have tools available for you to use. So yeah, that's a good question. So yeah, the risk is there. Do your risk assessments, threat assessments, keep your eye on things. That's part of staying vigilant as a citizen and necessary for national defense. So, all right. So that was the last bulk of questions from the community posts. So I appreciate that from everyone. I'm gonna deal with this real quick. So those were great questions. And now I will deal with the comments here in the chat. So anyone else coming in, thank you for tuning in. Um, yes, KB even, yeah, there four drones were stolen. I don't remember. Hey, Micklick, thanks for tuning in. I don't remember exactly which base. Um, but yeah, I mean they have photos of the individual. Face was covered and everything, but it looks like it was potentially a military member or somebody who had access to the base. That got a hold of the drones. So I don't remember. I didn't really even see anything on what types of drones were stolen. So I don't know. Obviously smaller ones, but I don't know if they were munition drones or anything. Um, but yeah, some were stolen. So there's obviously an issue there, and there's an alert there out for that as well. So as more information comes out, keep an eye on things. Britt says, don't think you see a lot of actual cells, more likely a bunch of one or two guys doing some. Yeah, a lot of lone actor ones. But do they have connection to a cell? Do they have some other kind of connection or show direct support? There's a lot of mentally ill people out there, and obviously people that have been uh converted by extremism that do act as lone actors, and we've seen that already. So you're absolutely right there. You're gonna see those, and it's not a unique thing to here in the United States. It happens all over the world. Um, but you likely, again, risk assessment and statistics, you're likely going to see a few more of those happening um, in current time. So vigilance, risk assessments, just talk to your people, and vet the information flow. Okay. Because there's a lot of misinformation that comes out too. And there's a lot of incomplete information. So you really have to be able to compile the whole picture, the totality of circumstances and information and evidence and everything in order to have the most informed, uh, usable, and actionable intelligence that you can get. Okay. So a lot of people is so common with the larger majority of the population, and not just here, but in America, is knee jerk reaction to stuff, sensationalism. You got to keep a level head and you have to vet your information. You know, it's not even so much a trust but verify thing. Obviously, trust but verify is essential, but at the same time, you have to be you really have to have some scrutiny with anything that you're looking at online anymore. You have to, you have to dissect it down, verify with multiple sources and all that. Human intelligence, humans, is always going to be the best intelligence, sight unseen, on the ground, in venue, in theater, whatever, giving you information of what they're seeing real time on the ground. That's always going to be the most actionable and most verifiable. From there, as far as OSINT and digital information space and all that stuff, you have to have scrutiny. You have to vet it. You have to verify it with multiple tiers and layers of information that come together to give you that picture and to give you the right amount of objective information to be able to utilize and disseminate. So that's kind of a little rant on that. Miklik, do I believe the GWAT made the USA more safe or less? Man, extremism has always been an issue. I mean, we saw it even before the GWAT. Look at what happened in what was it, 93? Look at Beirut in the 80s. Like extremism risk is global. And unfortunately, that's not going to go away until there's a serious culture shift and we get rid of all of the bad guys that are involved with that. All of them. That is a serious feat. Um and I say culture shift because you have to stop that from crossing, from bridging generationally. So the father cannot recruit the son, kind of thing, right? So that need for the dynamic of culture shift needs to happen in order to prevent extremism, and to that which in turn elevates our safety risk. You know, it's a very complex and multi-tiered issue. And unfortunately, it's been around for a long time, and it's not going away anytime soon until some very heavy-handed measures are taken, apart from the culture shift measures. So, um, as far as making us more safe or less, honestly, probably about the same. Maybe slightly less safe, especially with current unfoldings and things like that, and the fact that some administrations, like the prior one, absolute dog shit and drop the ball on ensuring our safety. That opened a huge series of problems that's going to take years to correct and remove to stabilize our level of safety. So exactly, Britt. Yep, backwash any intel. You have to. You absolutely have to, especially in the digital space. Yep. Who told you? Who told them? Why did they pass it on? Right, exactly. Who, what, when, where, and how, with whom, with what, and how much. And layered verification of those. Just MB, thanks for tuning in. So you mean if it's a three-letter news is probably biased or has some kind of objective behind what they're trying to push? I know, right? Oh my god. That would never happen. Oh my god. Right. Like, yeah. Now, occasionally the news does get it right. They used to a lot more so. Not in the last 15 years easily. And even before that. But like Associated Press always was good because they always had on-site people doing, war correspondence and all that stuff. Like and other examples like that. But in large, yeah, the MSM, you really have to knuckle down and triple, quadruple verify that stuff. Yeah, it's MSM sucks. Um, Supper time. Oh, all right, Britt. What you having? Hopefully it's good. Yeah, you stay safe too. Thanks for tuning in, man. Appreciate you coming in. All right, I think I'm caught up with all of the questions. How many years I served in the military? So I served from 2005 to 2008. So like 3 years, 3.5 with TDY. Good message. Yep. So I was 11 Bravo in the Army. Served with the 3rd Infantry Division initially. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, we have a serious winter storm coming through. I got a weather alert. Um, we're gonna have a very nasty winter storm coming through. We're supposed to get up to like 13 to 15 inches here over the next couple of days. And like super high winds tonight, like 50-mile-an-hour winds tonight and stuff. Like it's that warm and hot air kind of clashing and creating a really nasty storm. Um, Chaotic K9, JB, thanks for tuning in. Good to see you. You're a new guy. Appreciate you. Yeah, I love the snow personally. Um, yeah, sorry to finish your question because I got an alert there. Finish your question. Yeah. So 3.5 with TDY. So 11 Bravo in the Army, 3rd Infantry Division, 130, 3rd Brigade Combat Team, and then I went over to the 19th, which was part of the Movement Center for Excellence in TRADOC, which was special programs and coalition programs. So doing cadre assistance stuff and just all kinds of stuff like that with all of your major events that are put on, like at Fort Benning and stuff, like International Sniper, Invitational, Best Ranger, all that. And then we did training with like the Brits and the Germans and the Italians, like all that stuff. Yeah, the snow's awesome. I love it. It's kind of a last hurrah because we're still in winter here, even though we kind of had a little heat wave for a couple of days there. It cooled off again. Still winter here, and we'll probably still see snow into April. Occasionally, we'll see snow into May. A few years back, I can't remember exactly when, but we had a snowfall at the beginning of June. Didn't last very long because that's summer for sure. Late spring, summer for us, but that's happened before here. Um, just to me, you're gonna be hiding in the AC, and you guys gonna be trying to stay warm. Yeah, it's a lot easier to put layers on than try and take them off. Pretty soon you're peeling your skin off with a cheese slicer. I don't like the heat. I don't. I would much rather just deal with the cold. Cat at K9, 86 yesterday, today with 38. Oh, okay. Where are you at, K9? Cat at K9, where are you at? Yeah. Yeah, we saw it hit like 60 degrees a couple of days ago, and then it kind of cooled down a bit. Yeah, it's back down in like 30s. Um, Sunday, Monday here, it's supposed to be in the 20s, and then the lows are like at 0 and stuff at night. Originally northern Maine, it's snow at Halloween to late April, sometimes May. Yeah, that's pretty much here too. I'm in Wisconsin. Yeah, pretty much here too. North Carolina now. Oh, okay, cool, cool. I got some friends down there. One of my favorite seafood places I've ever been to in the United States is in North Carolina, outside of in Goldsboro, called the Vale House. Oh, freaking delicious. I was there. I was in North Carolina. Oh, going on 2 years ago now. Um, for a on-site physical security assessment, vulnerability assessment for a client when I was working for Crisis 24. Um, yeah, the sea bugs are delicious. Love me oysters, love me shrimp, love me fish. Water meat, gang. Water meat. Water meat. I love seafood. Oh, you were at Bragg for a while and then moved the road near Raleigh. Nice, nice. Scallops, yep, scallops. Dude, it's all good. I love being on the seaboard for the seafood, and it's cool because Goldsboro is pretty close to the coast, so big ass air guard, Air Force base there too. Yeah, yeah, Mick. Like, yeah, we do camping here all the time. We do winter camping here too. Um, coldest I went when we had a hunting camp a couple of years back. We were doing like some grouse hunting and stuff. It was minus 35 out. So, but yeah, the camping here in the state is awesome. It doesn't matter what time of the year. The camping here is awesome. A lot of good places to camp. We have a huge national park, the Checkamakwan National Forest and stuff in the northern part of the state and all that. We've got Ice Age trails, Kettle Moraine. The Driftless region is beautiful. We've got highlands, a lot of river valley stuff. Like it's yeah, you have a whole range of stuff, terrain types here, but yeah, lot of state parks, campgrounds, and all that. Like the camping here is really good. So yeah, we do it a lot of hiking and stuff. Yeah, you just bought a 5 meter bell tent and a wood stove. Nice hot tent camping. Good times, man. That's awesome. That's awesome. Sorry, I'm getting messages here. That's my buddy in Ukraine. He's Ukrainian. He's in the Ukrainian military. I'll respond to him later. Dog sledding is big in February. The average temps were minus 28 to minus 38 fun times. Yep, yep. A lot more. Not we have some dog sledding here, like further north, but not a whole lot here. A lot more snowmobiling and a lot of cross country skiing too, and backcountry skiing. I really like backcountry skiing. I need to get a pair of those Altai Hawk backcountry skis. I really like those. They got the seal skin on them and stuff. I want to get a set of those. Much better than snowshoeing, in my opinion. Um, s- some dog sledding here, but yeah, most of it's like further north. A lot of dense forest here. So, um, yep, yeah, I do hunt McLick. It's been a while. It's been a couple of just because I've been so busy with work and stuff. I missed a couple of seasons. But yeah, I got my Tika 308 and stuff. I got Tika T3X Lite and 308 for my deer gun and stuff. It's a good multi-purpose scout rifle too, obviously, and I have it set up for that. But yeah, it's a great deer rifle. Um, Used to have a Winchester Ranger 120R shotgun, um, but I wasn't really doing all that much like bird hunting and stuff. So I ended up selling it to a Winchester collector, um, which was cool. So I was glad it went to a good home. But yeah, I do hunt. Small game too. I'll hunt small game. Um, I got a buddy who's really good at like trapping and stuff. And he's got a couple of shotguns, so I just use one of his sometimes when we do like shotgun hunting and stuff. But yeah, we don't really have elk here, Micklick. We have some of the biggest whitetail in the country, though. We do have reindeer here, but most of those are actually on farms, reindeer farms. We don't really have elk here. Um, we have moose. Um, Great Lakes region has moose and stuff, but yeah, not so much elk. That's a little further west. Um, More like Colorado, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, like that whole area. You know, there's elk out there. Not so much here though. But the whitetail here are giants. So I do love elk though. I did a hunting trip out to Colorado and Southwest Wyoming. Oh God, over 10 years ago. Even longer. It's been a long time since I've been out that way for an elk hunt. But God, 15 years ago? Yeah, it was about 15 years ago. Damn. Um, but yeah, we got an elk, and the beef sticks and the jerky was so good. Elk is delicious. Um, yeah, Maine deer are huge too. Yeah, North Carolina, yeah, the deer in the South are pretty small. Yeah, we're kind of spoiled for deer up here. Like they're monsters. They're huge. Yeah, moose is really good too. I like moose. Until you had horse, it was your favorite. Okay, I don't mind horse meat either. Horse is good meat. It is. I agree. Camel. I like camel meat too. Had it in the Middle East. Um, Pretty greasy, but man, is it good. I would equate like camel meat is similar to horse meat, but it's a little greasier. It's like yeah, kind of maybe a mix between like horse and I don't know, a really greasy beef. Yeah, something like that. It's not bad. Horse is good too, though. Yeah, I've had horse before. It is some good meat. Just to be the only things worth fucking your area is gator and turkey. I like gator and turkey too. So there you go. Best of both worlds. I ate gator down in Florida. It was delicious. We have a lot of turkey up here, a lot of turkey, and they're huge as well. It's crazy. Like here in the city I live in, there are flocks of turkeys that are in the city that live like in the big parks and stuff, and they know nobody can hurt them. They're bold motherfuckers here. They're bold. They'll just walk out into traffic too and stuff. But like huge flocks of them just walking through town. You can't shoot them. So, but yeah, the turkey hunting and the grouse hunting and stuff up here is phenomenal. Okay, I got two camels in Afghan and raced them. Just had fun. Gave them to our local workers. Came back next day in dishes. The butcher did cooked it all night. We had one of Malwar. It's greasy and grossly. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's accurate. Yeah, kind of a mix between like horse and bear. I was trying to think of like a greasy meat. Bear would be accurate. Yes. Yep. They must not have cooked it very well or cleaned it very well. It's kind of gamey, but it's still. I mean, it's just I don't know. I didn't think it was bad. When I had in Iraq, I didn't think it was bad. Always get your Osceola turkeys. Okay, okay, yeah, that would be the place to do it. A little more on that side and like around like Tampa and stuff. Yeah, bear makes a good roast. That's about it. True. Stew. Bear stew is good. Um, so one of the few ways it's good to make it. You got to look out for the trichinosis though, obviously, but bear stew is good. Try bear with you want to try bear with someone who knows what they're doing. Right, exactly. Yeah, you got to look out for the trichinosis and stuff. But yeah, bear's good. Yep, yep. Stew. Stew is solid. Um, there's a freeze dried meal company. Think like Mountain House, but like even bougier. It's called Stowaway Gourmet. It's a West Coast company that makes freeze dried meals. They're really good for prepping and stuff. Again, they're kind of bougie. They're kind of expensive, but they are the best freeze dried meals I have ever had. Stowaway Gourmet, freaking delicious. They have a wild boar stew. That's really good. Yeah, exactly. Stew and crock pot type dishes with bear. Absolutely. Yeah. Bear fat's really good. I mean, you can add bear fat to a lot of things. There's one of those good things about bear is the fat. If you're not using pork fat, you could do a combination of bear and pork fat along with whatever, and it'll cook really good. Yeah, like if you do like conies, like rabbit stew. Um, you know, roast up some rabbits and then throw them in a pot to make process them, throw them in a pot to make a stew, and throw a little bit of bear and then some pork fat in there. Really good. Or if you do like a Dutch oven kind of thing or whatever. Yeah, absolutely. Um, gabagool, gabagool. Absolutely. Yeah, you go through a steady rotation of rabbit just to be. Yeah, dude. Rabbit's good. I like rabbit. Been hunting it my entire life. My grandpa taught me how to hunt back in the day. Squirrel, rabbit, crow, all that stuff. Yeah. Hey, troglodyte. What's up, dude? Hey, ma, what about the gabagool? The gabagool. Forget about it. So yeah, Frack T. Frack T. Come on. There you go. Yeah, Frack T. Go pick up some Frack T. Swift Design and Textiles, Cottonmouth Customs. I don't know if Whitmore Handmade Gear is taking orders right now. Refuge Medical is doing a run of products in Frack TW. Uh, Tact Wrap is coming on board. Bug Out Bushido here on YouTube. He has an email contact if you want custom gear. He just made that. I made a community post that chest Ricky made. It turned out great. Also in this FL pattern, so Florida Man pattern looks fantastic. Bunch of partners. Got more partners coming soon. I just had a really good call today with the owner of Ope Gear. Ope, Minnesota-based company. They make some awesome stuff. All kinds of scrims and wraps and stuff like that. They also have a partner manufacturer for like pouches and other gear and stuff. So they're a big potential big partner that may be coming on. Sable Defense is another one that may be coming on. I believe they're ordering some material soon, and they make as well slick plate carriers, slings, all that stuff. So I believe they're going to be coming on board here soon too. Haven't made an official announcement on the Instagram or anything yet. I'm waiting to hear back from them about that. I'm also waiting to get more branded fabric tags in, so when they let me know they have material ordered, I can send them some fabric tags. Some other good stuff coming soon too. So keep an eye out. Always check keep checking the website. I'm going to be updating the look of the website here soon. It's pretty simple and I like simple, but I think I'm going to update it a little bit to make it a little more, modern, streamlined kind of looking. Um, but the list of partners is there kind of near the bottom above contact form and stuff. All the list of all current partners is there. Um, at least half of them right now are custom order only kind of dudes, but like Cottonmouth Customs, Bug Out Bushido, Whitmore Handmade, Swift Design and Textile, they all do custom order stuff. So go check them out. And then some of the other companies that are listed, they're doing product runs here soon. So I raised my wabbit. Oh yeah. You've got like a little rabbit hobby farm, Justin B. That's right. Yeah. Gen X Gemini, what's up, dude? Thanks for tuning in. So just kind of talked about FracT a little bit. I answered a question earlier from a community post about some FracT stuff and like kind of where things are right now. So I'm waiting to hear back from another custom maker about making me a backpack because I need a sample for their trademark submission stuff, and then I have to order some custom print netting next week for sample, and also a kind of benchmark test product for some of the potential partners that are coming on that want netting and veils. So kind of getting that figured out too. Almost missed me dealing with family shit. Well, go deal with family shit, man. That's more important. Thanks for tuning in, though. But that's more important, man. Um, yeah, so that kind of stuff going on. So if anyone has any questions about any of that stuff, let me know. Fire away in the chat. Alongside any other questions or topics you want to talk about in here, you know, um, good to go for that. So time is burning by. Got about an hour and 20 minutes left in the live stream here, so I go for about 2 hours, and then it's usually the cutoff point right around when I would be doing supper. So nothing you can do at the moment. So here you are. Hey, fair. That's fair, dude. Very fair. If anyone's got any other topics of discussion, questions, anything, keep firing away. So great. Some great questions and topics here. So yeah, keep them coming. What else do I have right now? Music stuff. Eldarion, the Tolkien themed epic metal project that I'm in. CDs are finally coming with a Finnish Italian metal label called Golem's Treasures. They're going to be retailing the CDs on their platform. I made a post about that. Aposticum, black and death metal, local black and death metal band that I'm in, and we play shows and all that. We have CDs and merch, so go check out Aposticum on Bandcamp and all other major streaming platforms. Um, Slowly working on a new Decoherence album, but with my counterparts being in the UK, it's very slow going, which is okay. Um, Nothing else really on the docket as of right now. A couple little things here and there potentially coming. Pythonism, we're going to start working on some stuff for a split with some buddies of ours over in Portugal. Athanasi, we are supposed to do a split with them a couple years back, but things didn't work out. They got very busy. And my buddy in their band, he was in the Portuguese military at the time, and so um, didn't really have time for it. But now he's out, so we're finally getting that split going. Just getting started on some stuff for that too. So yeah, go check out Eldarion, Aposticum. Uh, if you like slamming brutal death metal, Odious Emesis, Pythonism for really crushing psychedelic Lovecraftian funeral doom, like all that stuff. I kind of do everything. I can program drums. I can play drums too, and my chops aren't very good, even because I don't really have a live kit to play all that often. Um, Play guitar, do vocals, graphic design, like everything. Yeah, I do everything. Um, my solo projects, my one man solo projects are Odious Emesis, the Anointing Maelstrom, which is like war metal, black death metal, kind of on the grindy, chaotic stuff. Bani, which is like traditional kind of world music. Um, yeah, and then I'm in projects I'm in a bunch of other projects too, like I had mentioned. So Eldarion, we're a duo. We both kind of live in the state here, and but it's kind of a studio only project, but that's on all major streaming platforms. And then those CDs are coming soon. Aposticum is a gigging project, is a gigging band, and hopefully soon we have to try out a new bass player. Hopefully soon. I do guitar and backing vocals in that project, and hopefully we get a new bass player soon, and then can start playing more shows and might do a little tour and stuff. I know we want to go play like Tampa Death Fest and some other stuff. So um, Pythonism, pretty much a studio only project. My counterpart with Pythonism, he's out in North Dakota. Um, so yeah, I work internationally and nationally and stuff locally with various people and various projects. So no real looping. Besides like certain sampling for certain things, like some of my dark ambient experimental stuff that I'll put up on my YouTube channel and stuff sometimes, and for other projects like with my buddy in Ukraine and stuff. Um, it's not really looping though, but like some of the sample layers kind of repeat. But I don't use loopers. No, it's all from scratch writing and stuff. Proper musician and composer. Gen X, do I give free Frack T gear to my subs? I don't have that kind of money for swag like that, man. Maybe in the future, I can work with some of my some of the partners that do make stuff in Frac T to do some giveaways. That's not out of the question in the future. I would be all for that. That would be cool. So I wouldn't say that's out of the question, but I can't do that right now. I don't have the money for that. One could dream. I know. I know. Hey, more partners are coming though. I've got like half the partners, and they're all listed on the website. And I mention them all on IG posts all the time. Half the partners on that are listed on the website and stuff are custom order partners. The other half are uh pre-made goods and the fabric printer and retailer, and then companies that have lines of products and stuff. And there's more coming. There's several more coming. Kind of my goal, and I said this in the update video on Monday that I put out. My goal was to have 4 to 6 new partners by summer, and it's looking like I'm going to hit that mark, which is awesome. So, um, yeah, a lot of really cool stuff happening right now. So I'm kind of on that crunch period right now with this trademark stuff, just to finish submitting for the active in use status. So I have to get a couple of things done in the next like uh 3 weeks. Um, so yeah, kind of crunch time for that, but I've got easily half of it ready to go for my lawyer to submit. So I'm happy about that too. But yeah, I'm really happy about the partners coming on. I've had a lot of really good discussions lately, and and all that. So um, I talked to John with SOE Gear the other day too, and he's going to check out the stuff too. So that's really exciting. I'm really happy about that. Um, it was worth a shot, Gen X. Hey, I don't blame you, man. At some point, we'll probably do giveaways. So if you're not on Instagram, get on Instagram because that's probably where it'll happen. I'll make an announcement like in a community post on my YouTube channel and stuff, but that's probably where the giveaways will happen. Just to be the FL pattern is just that one pattern. It's FL pattern. It's the same one here, the one that Bogo Bushido did. Made that custom order chest rig for the venerable and notorious Chud out of Ohio. He made that chest rig for him. Yeah, it's the FL pattern in the 600D material that Rainier offers. Yeah, that's what he made it out of. Is the FL pattern in 600D. Came out great. Looks fantastic. Very happy about that. Very happy with the bag too. This is a 1000D Cordura HP polybase. This stuff is tough as shit. Like, I'm really happy. Like, everyone's like, oh, nylon this, nylon that. Like, guess what? This poly stuff, dude, this is rugged as hell. Like, it chooches. It's fantastic. I'm very impressed with the material. Thanks, Gen X, man. I appreciate it, man. Yeah. A lot of good things happening for the business. I'm very happy. It's very exciting, very stressful, but very exciting. A lot of good things happening. So just more updates are coming. Ogre, hey dude. It's okay. No worries about being late. I kind of started a weird time, but it's a bracket of time that fits for me most of the time. So I answered your questions, community post questions earlier, so you have to rewatch the stream later to catch those. Yeah, John makes great stuff. It's overbuilt, as are a lot of my partners. They overbuild their stuff, which is how it should be. Between the toughest nails material and their construction, like freaking amazing. So I'm really hoping that he picks them up and releases some SOE gear in Frac T patterns. That would be amazing. He would be another of a couple that I'm talking to. He would be another of a major manufacturer to be a partner, and that's huge. No IG for you, Gen X? Well, just keep an eye out for my community posts. I mean, Canada K9 years ago, you worked for Eagle Industries. Oh, special projects. No shit, dude. Eagle was the shit back in the day, man. You know, like it was all Eagle for aftermarket stuff that we were using in the military. It was Eagle and contracting. Eagle, Blackhawk, even Condor. Like it was those SOG bug out gear. Like it was those companies that were, and then SOE that were like all the hotness back then. I love the Eagle LBEs, and they don't make them anymore. Nylon camouflage, if you can get it on a mill project or a big vendor, it will have a life of its. Yeah, it absolutely will. There is a project ongoing right now. It's an R&D and integration program that one of my partners picked up some of my material to make some prototypes for. I can't really talk about stuff otherwise. Special program for the government though. Um, if that ends up working out, I might have a licensing contract with the government. That would be really cool. But this stuff is tough as nails, and I did NVG test video too. Standard dye sublimation on this material fits within certain NIR criteria, which is awesome. Um, Obviously, with NIR specific dyes and all that, that gets way more expensive, as you know, and all that, But um, I'm still working on another larger printer and material provider, like I had said earlier, to source even more material types and stuff. So it's an ongoing process, but yeah, there's a couple of really good things happening. No, there's only one FL pattern, just MB, only one blurred FL pattern. It's called FL. That's the one FL pattern. I have other patterns like SW and some of the other ones that do fit for that environment down there, but FL is the FL pattern. One round left. What's up, dude? Thanks for tuning in. Martin G Blast. Thanks, dude. Thanks for tuning in. How you doing? One round left. About to head to the gym and get some jujitsu in. Nice. What do you think of the M7 rifle platform? Not impressed. I like piston system rifles, but I'm not impressed with SIG USA at all. It was out before it was adopted and have not actually spoken to someone who shot it. I haven't shot it yet either, but from everything I have seen, I'm not impressed with it. I'm just not impressed with SIG USA, honestly. Old SIG is best SIG. Swiss SIG, baby. Those are my favorite SIGs, are Swiss SIGs. Yeah, not impressed with the M7 platform though. And the 68x51 cartridge just doesn't make sense. There's other stuff that's already out that would have been a better choice. I've gone on tirades and rants about that before. But Cat K9, when Eagle sold out to ATK. Oh, is that what happened? Okay. Yeah, they dropped so many SKUs and went to the wayside while so many other companies came alive. Yeah. I mean, Eagle's been trying to come back. Like they're active on Instagram and all that. Like they're doing new product lines and stuff. But yeah, it's not like it was. And that's where other more bespoke companies are kind of taking the forefront on them and coming out with like good LBEs and stuff. You've got Crossfire in Australia. You've got some people do and some people don't, like Nixie Works. Carcajou Tactical in Canada has some stuff. Like there's a number of companies, and then a lot of custom manufacturers and other smaller companies are also doing LBEs and good quality LBEs and like other stuff too. So there's a lot of companies that have been taking up the slack where they fell to the wayside, unfortunately. But old Eagle stuff is fantastic. If you can find it, use it. Gen X, if it works too well, the government might take it away. No, I mean, they want a license with me, I'll give them a good deal. But, there are many reasons why I created my line of camouflages. One was community and customer demands for stuff that worked regionally for their environments more so. That was available. And I was like, I could do that. Another is camouflage in the visual and operational application sense is a life-saving tool. You blend into your environment, aren't seen by your adversary, and you get the upper hand and unfair advantage. That's a win. There's a number of other reasons too. Apart from just having a super high interest in camouflage and wanting to provide something to the market that was unique, but also highly functional and is accessible. So there's no reason for them to take it away. Everything's trademarked and copyrighted. I own everything. So they would have to pay a lot of money to take it. But licensing, I'll give them a good deal for licensing. But I'll make sure to get mine. But I want to make sure that high performance stuff is going to prepared citizens, our nation's warfighters, and all that. I want I want success with end users as much as I've had in the past. I want success with end users as much as success as a company. So, okay, Justin, yeah, you were thinking about SW. Yeah, Swamp and Woodland. Yeah, Swampy Woodland, yeah. That's a good pattern, too. Twin Arrows, Sup Goons. Sup, man? Thanks for tuning in. Sig USA or trash. I agree. Ace Hero Protect. What's up, man? Thanks for tuning in. Caddy K9 M7 is garbage. The A rifles, all it failed. 75% used to SOC tests when it came out. Correct. Guns are deadline. They had to get Sig Rep to come get them. Clusterfuck. Yep. CS is worse than their product. Absolutely. Everyone's saying hey to each other. What's up? What's up? What's up? Gen X here in Indiana, you just have to dress like a meth lab to blend. Urban Flage. Wrap yourself in trash bags. And wear the MU pattern. Tornadoes, you want some gear in my pattern so in my camo so bad? Dude, check out the list of manufacturers, man. A lot of the custom makers don't really charge all that much. Like, their prices are very reasonable, so go check them out. Yep. The economy is what it is, and it is definitely the struggle bus for everyone, so I feel that. Cat K9, the M7 will go down as the Scar 2.0 debacle, correct. They need to bring back the frickin' ACR. Gen X, he just as a 5'9" beaker. That's funny, dude. You just gotta cover yourself in like quartz, just look like a giant crystal. Troglodyte meth labs per mile, a real measurement in northern Michigan. Yeah, facts. A lot of the northern areas of our states, yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, it's a problem. Yep. A lot of the cabins up north, yeah. But yeah, I mean, excuse me. Yeah, it's been some pretty exponential growth as far as partnerships go, and kind of the this initial product success and stuff going on. Like, I'm very happy with things, and no, I'm in Wisconsin, Gen X, other side of Lake Michigan. Yeah, it's been really awesome exponential growth, and it's only going to grow more, especially with some of the partners that are coming on board. Hopefully coming on board. Like, Sable Defense is really cool. They do their own in-house lamination, so they're going to have advanced laminated textiles that they do with their products, which is amazing. Yeah, really excited to see their stuff. But yeah, all the partners that are prospective partners that are coming on, and companies I've been talking to, and all that stuff, big and small. It's very exciting. I'm very excited. So, yeah, Gen X. Yeah, I'm on the other side. Where we don't have lead in the water. All the love to my Michigan peeps. Some of my cousins were from Michigan. They've since moved, but I remember going to visit them in the Detroit suburbs, a long time ago. My homies in Minneapolis, I feel your struggle. I love you guys too, or in Minnesota in general. I feel for my friends in Illinois that are stuck behind enemy lines. Illinois sucks, but there are some good people down there, especially Western and Southern Illinois. Hello to my homies in Missouri, the Dakotas, and everywhere else. Lead paint chips and puppy chow made you the man you are today, Gen X. That's great. Puppy chow, man, that's great. Hey, Axe of Grind, what's up, brother? Not terribly late. You're only an hour late. It's fine. Still got an hour to go. I appreciate you coming in. I know I kind of started at a weird time, but it's the best bracket of time for a 2 hour live stream for me. Um, it ends right around like supper time normally. So troglodyte. Oh, how the land of the FUD has fallen. Oh yeah, you betcha, bud. Oh yeah. FUD's coping and seething. Just got off work with your new job, dude. That's awesome, man. Like last month when you told me, man. I'm so happy for you, dude. That's awesome. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Fantastic. Even with how crazy and bad, piss poor the economy is right now, like there's a lot of good things happening and a lot of successes, little wins here and there. A new job here, business is doing well over here. Like there is a lot of good stuff still going on. So it makes me really happy to see all that, man. That's awesome. Keep firing away, folks. Keep it coming. Every time you hear the word FUD used, you think of the Trump shooters. SK has a die a little on the inside. Oh, the Florida man or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, that was bubbled up. It was bad. I will say the old Tapco chassis, though. I mean, to somewhat modernize, I mean, that was like the best option for a long time. But yeah, that one was man-made horrors beyond our comprehension. Extra grind, money is crazy good. Not bragging, but hard, dangerous work should pay appropriately. Agree. And I'll be damned. I found the right line of work. Yeah, dude. Yeah, you're a lineman now, right? Or you work like in that sector. That is some good paying work. It's the same for other industries too. Your crab fishermen, your conflict zone security contractors, your um, well, military too. I mean, let's face it. Freaking combat arms folks in the military should be getting paid more too. Um, all kinds of industries though, and like all kinds of line of work, especially when there are more hazards. Yeah, yeah, you should be making bank. Vital infrastructure in general, make bank. Without infrastructure, we do not have what we have. Good stuff because of good people like you. Exactly. Hell yeah. Not a lineman, far from it, like a private powertrain. Hey, still, that's cool though. In 4 years, you should be a lineman. Yeah, I mean, crawl, walk, run. That is how it is with any trade, because it is a trade. That's how it is with the trades. But that's not bad because out of the gate, as long as you're doing the job right, you're good. You know. So that's awesome, dude. And it is that time. Smoke them if you got them. So, other topics, questions, keep firing away. I think there's 7-ish of you in here. I don't know if the actual viewer count is accurate in the live studio feed here, but anyone else that came in and didn't say hey, say hey. Fire away with any topics of discussion, any questions you got. It's kind of a free for all general shoot the breeze chat here. Um, After I answer community post questions like at the beginning of the live stream and stuff. So, any questions you got, fire away. It's good stuff though. The Lama Satanas. Hello. Everyone just calls me DJ. That is my real name, but everyone calls me DJ. Greetings. Greetings. Thanks for tuning in. Any questions, topics of discussion, fire away. Let's kind of shoot the breeze here. You want to know about music stuff? You want to know about my camouflage brand? You want to know about whatever? Fire away. Graphic design, songwriting, anything and everything. Nine years later, TN nearly complete. Yeah, brother. So for anyone that doesn't know, that is Selve, the other half of Tethnahesh. A very fun project that we do together. Avant-garde, experimental, slightly technical, black metal. If y'all haven't checked out the first release, Tethnahesh, go check it out on Bandcamp. I don't know if you got my email, Cell. I don't know if you had got my email. I did find some of the root guitar tracks, like the raw tracks. So if you wanted them, I ended up finding them, thankfully. So I can send that all to you, if you want. So if you want to uh, master up stuff, double tracks, pan, all that stuff, let me know because I think I found them all. So. When did I start Frac T? So I started doing initial like environmental study and some of the initial like design drafting and all that. I started that. So that would have been uh 2021, 2022. I left Triple Canopy in 2022, early 2022. So I started really I was still doing security consulting and advising and stuff. Among some other things, and a little bit of analyst work and like stuff like that. But that's when I started really doing the development process, the studies and development process, and kind of learning more about just the industry in general and stuff. And then, so for about 3 years, um, 3.5 years, I just worked on all that and then finalized my designs and stuff. And then did the trademark filing, started the website, like all that stuff last year. So this month is the 1 year anniversary mark of the brand being active. So yeah, that's about that timeline. Exagon, you think you cranked the boss katana just a hair too loud. No, you have a slight buzzing sound on all channels. Ooh, don't fry it. Yeah. Check your connections though too. Sometimes just doing a reset fixes thing, turning it off, turning it back on fixes things. Yeah, hopefully you didn't blow out your cab or anything. Boss katanas are solid though. A drummer for Apossicum, Zeb. Um, I think he wants one. He didn't get one. I think he wants one though. He's got another project called Gilder. Really, really good, like kind of quintessential black metal. Thinking like Inquisition, Zarathustra, Watain, stuff like that. Like he's working on an album right now with that project too. So Gilder is gonna be, dude. The stuff I've heard is fantastic. But yeah, he was talking about a boss katana too. So hopefully, if you just kind of turn everything off, turn it back on, you don't get the buzzing. I think if I don't know if it's Cell, I don't know if you're still in here, brother, but for everyone, I had made a playlist of the rough Tethna hash tracks for the second album that had been up for a while on my channel in a playlist. So you kind of get an idea of what the instrumental sounded like. Um, But yeah, everything's kind of being reworked right now, and we're fixing, production and mastering and things like that. So the new album should be coming soon, finally, which I'm very excited for. I'm glad you popped in here, man. I do not know who Neil Fallon is, Gen X Gemini, but thank you. I don't know who that is. I'll have to look him up. I get told sometimes I look like a Finnish actor as well. He was in the Viking series and stuff. Um, I can't remember his name either. Finnish name. My Finnish is not that good. Perkala. Perkele. Unfortunately, singer for Clutch. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know those guys by name. I mean, I listen to Clutch on and off like way back in the day, but not really a band I typically listen to. I'll have to look at a band photo and stuff. I wouldn't doubt it. I've been told that a couple of times that I look familiar. Maybe it's just my personality. I don't know, but you know, it's all right. I used to have hair, not for a while though. Been buzzing my head for a long time. So, fun fact, lost everything and had to recover from dead laptop discovered buried in a storage space. Oh, yeah, I do remember you saying something about that at one point, and then at one point somebody had like you stolen another computer or something. I'm sorry, man. That sucks. I'm glad you found it though, but I do have I believe I have all of the raw guitar tracks, so I can bundle them up and send them to you via like WeTransfer or something. So that way you have those files too. I don't have all that much space on my Google Drive, um, so I'll have to send them to you that way. But that way you have them. So I'll be sure to do that. Just um, as long as you still have my email, don't put it in here. But as long as you still have my personal email, uh, either reply to an email I had sent or send me another email and I'll get that going. Because I don't know if you have the same email or not either. So 'cause I don't recall you replying to the last couple of emails that I had sent out, which is okay. I know you're a busy guy, so Gen X, you could have gotten high with them once, but you're out on bail. So yeah, don't be screwing up, man. What the hell? Don't be that guy. Good on you. Wise choices. Life is all about choices, as one of my old instructors would say. Everybody groaned at it, but you know what? It's a slogan that I have adopted and hold very dear because it's true. Long time ago. Yeah, good. Luckily, the mixed material is intact. Oh, awesome. 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 Dude, I'm stoked. I am stoked. That's great. Yeah, awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I look forward to hearing from you, brother. Freaking, I'm really glad you popped in here and gave me an update. That's awesome. So for a couple of years, I was like, is he dead? No, don't die on me, man. I was like, where'd you go? I'm glad you're back, dude. I'm glad. I'm very happy to hear from you, man. That's awesome. I'm very excited about the new Tethna hash, man. That's great. That's fantastic. Ah, awesome. Yeah, I don't know if I had shared it, but yeah, one of the other new bands I'm in, Aposticum, it's like black and death metal. Think Belphegor Behemoth, like good era Behemoth, like Vader, Morbid Angel, like all that. Like check that out too. We had just dropped a full length album back in November, sounding the Seven Horns, and yeah, it's gotten pretty positive feedback. So our drummer made it in Sick Drummer Magazine's top 25 drumming albums, or top drumming albums of 2025, which is awesome. So his 10-year return to drumming, and he made it in a Sick Drummer Magazine with our first album drop at that project is freaking amazing. We did a cool interview with Florida Metal Radio not too long ago too, and then we just had another I think a dude in Mexico that does like album reviews and stuff. That has a pretty big channel. Did a pretty high praises review recently and stuff too. And yeah, all the projects are doing great. I'm really happy about that. Eldarion, as I mentioned earlier, which is like Tolkien themed epic atmospheric black metal. Think like Caladan Brood, Summoning, Ken Bard and stuff. We're working with Gollum's Treasures, which is a Finnish Italian label. They're doing CDs for us now for our new album, The Journey of Heroes. Yeah, a lot of cool stuff happening, man. So I'm very excited for Teth Nahesh. So um, once we kind of back and forth and kind of get things squared away and stuff, and do the mixes up and everything and all that. Like we a lot of good promise to approach some partners, some labels and stuff to put CDs out and stuff if you want. So I know a few. I know you do too. So yeah, a lot of cool things happening there on the music side too. So also for everyone in here, I do graphic design commissions, not just band logos, but I do band logos and stuff too, and all that. But other commissions, business logo design, other general graphic design, YouTube channel logos, like all that kind of stuff. I do all that too on commission. So if anyone needs anything, hit me up. We'll be listening now. And subbed. Hell yeah. Yeah, full album stream of the Aposticum album is on the Aposticum YouTube channel. We all kind of work together to run that channel. So full album stream is over on Aposticum's YouTube channel. Um, and then all major streaming platforms for that. Eldarion, I've got the Eldarion album stream on my channel here. Also the like YouTube music stuff, and then Eldarion's also on all major streaming platforms too. That's the one other project I have on all major streaming stuff. Everything else is either I put it up on my channel here, work with some YouTube promotion channels to put certain albums of certain projects up, like Pythonism and stuff, and then the rest is on Bandcamp or Ampwall, if anyone's on Ampwall, which is kind of like a mix between Bandcamp and like old MySpace, with a really nice modern design look to it. Um, it's just another option for streaming and purchase, um, aside from Bandcamp, for like digital and stuff. Um, but yeah, Bandcamp is still the mainstay for now. Thankfully, they still haven't shut down PayPal payments through Bandcamp because they switching to Stripe. I hate Stripe. Sucks. I'm never going to use it. Never have. Never will. Um, I think Bandcamp got the message that at least 1/3 to almost one half of all the entire community user base on Bandcamp was pissed about that. So I made a video about that a while back too. But for now, PayPal's still working, so that's good for Bandcamp. So I'm happy about that. Yeah, a lot of good stuff happening. So I'm really happy about that. Looks like down to 5. I don't know how many active viewers are on right now. 12 likes, thank you. Looks like got about it's showing me five in here that are active. So anybody else? Questions, comments, topics, fire away. Still got about 45 minutes. Yeah, agreed, troglodyte. The Discord thing with the ID verification is the dumbest decision possible, and they did backtrack on it, but for how long, I don't know. I already know a couple other people with servers on there that they're closing their servers because of it. So, Gen X Gemini, am I self-employed? Yes. Frac T is my brand, my business, camo brand. Um, it's a sole proprietorship. It's not an LLC. It's a sole proprietorship. For now anyway. I don't foresee having to have any additional employees anytime soon, so I'm going to keep it that way for now. It's a lot easier for a lot of things. There's pros and cons to between sole proprietorship and LLC. They both have pros and cons. A little bit easier as a sole proprietorship. And then when I was doing security consulting and stuff, like yeah, that was all subcontracting, self-employed kind of stuff, subcontracting to companies. Before that, I was working as directly as a contractor and stuff. But yeah, like graphic design stuff, self-employed as well. Musician, obviously, that's all self-employed. Yeah, so it's all like self-employed stuff now it is. um Troglodyte's supposed to come later this year. Gonna have to move TeamSpeak or some garbage. Yeah. Well, I'm just honestly, if it comes down to it, and like everybody's deleting their servers on Discord and stuff, which I mean, the exodus is kind of already starting. Um, I'm just not gonna bother. I already have enough to focus on. I'm not gonna bother with anything else. Whoever I'm connected with on Signal, I'll talk with on Signal. Whoever I've got connected with an email, I'll talk with an email. Whoever's on IG, I'll talk to him on IG. I'll just keep it simple like that. I like keeping things simple. So Gen X, that's awesome. You don't have the balls to be so, dude. Go forth and conquer, man. It, have your ducks in a row. Have a good lawyer, and then take the leap. If you have a good idea, or you have something that you want to pursue, um, that you can grind and make it work. Um, I don't know if you have any ideas for what you would want to do being self-employed, throw them my way. I'll help you brainstorm a little bit here. Yeah, right, exactly, Trog. Um, Gen X, you're only good at two things: working on cars and your job, but you hate them both. Well, I mean, again, if you got ideas or you want to start a business of your own, whether it's in the vein of doing that kind of stuff or something else, freaking lay it out, man. Figure out what you need to do. Do the research. Take a little time and do the research. Get your ducks in a row. Know the best way about doing things. Get a good foundation there. Get some support. If you need a lawyer on retainer, get one. And all that, and then just freaking do it, man. Like, just do it. You're probably do chicken shit. No, man, do it. People start businesses every day, and that's the American way, man. That's the American way. Like, if you really want to do it, and you're not happy with where you're at, start the process. Um, it took time for me with the camo stuff, because not only did I have to do the environmental study and design development to create the camo patterns, but also understanding the textile industry, understanding the nuances of the camouflage industry, which is even more niche, and like figuring that all out and figuring out the best approach for me and how I can do things in a way that works best for me and partners, that's legitimate. It took time, but when you do the right things and go through the steps of the process in the right order and everything, it works out. You just have to grind. Marketing is a big thing, at least for the stuff I'm doing. Marketing is huge. But you just grind at it and you can end up with some really, really, really good connections, um, and otherwise. And then just providing quality service and quality product, like that'll speak volumes to the success that happens down the line as things grow. So you want to do something outdoors, you're living in the woods. So like maybe a guide service, whether it's outings with hunting, hiking, camping, uh, river tours. Uh, Buddy Zeb, drummer for Aposticum, he does a guide service with fishing and hunting. Um, so he people charter him to go out on the river or the lakes or whatever to go fishing. Also ice fishing during the winter. And then he also does hunting guide service. Like, you could do that. It's a thing. The I believe it's the lead guitarist and vocalist of Jungle Rot, the metal band Jungle Rot. He does hunting guide service. That's his job outside of being in Jungle Rot. That's a big name death metal band from Wisconsin. He does that too. So it's like the opportunity's there. You're going to be a guide, but shit happened. As in, like, stuff got busy with life and your current job and stuff, or like something else. Because I mean, you could make it work. You can make that kind of job work. Um, yeah, if it's something you enjoy doing, like you can make it work. You know. Oh, right. Went to jail. Yeah. So I mean, you could still do bow and crossbow, right? And then again, the fishing stuff, hiking, camping, all that. Like offering guide courses on proper mushroom identification, wild edibles identification, tracking if you're good at tracking, that kind of stuff too. That all folds into guide service. Like you have options for programs and services that you can host or that you can offer as services that people can charter out for. And that's even better if there's no guide work in your area, dude. You can create a huge market bubble for yourself. That's huge. ACR Protect, you're still here, just getting those miles in. Hell yeah. Get your steps in, brother. ACR Protect is doing what is it, 31 miles in 31 days? Kind of a fitness challenge he's doing. So more power to you, man. Attaboy. ACR, you and I need to have a discussion. We need to have a conference call at some point to discuss the gear stuff. We need to talk about that. I know you've been busy. I don't know if Tin Man Metal is in here. I need to talk with him too because I would love to have him as a partner too. He wants to get his gear manufacturing business off the ground too. The risky Recondo rig prototype is sitting here waiting to be taken and improved upon and put to market. It's here. Oh, you're acquitted, dude. Okay. Now I know a little bit more of your backstory. That's fantastic. So I mean, again, world's your oyster, man. The other stuff I recommended too, like if you're good with not just the guide services for hunting and fishing and stuff, but and if nobody's offering it in your area, like wilderness stuff, identification of edibles, tracking, stuff like that, and then chartering, outings and things like that, and like um not so much like a confidence course kind of thing, but like getting people who don't have a lot of experience being out in the outdoors, like getting them comfortable out there and stuff. Like that's a huge opportunity. Like, dude, I know there's a lot of good hiking trails and stuff in your area, like big hiking circuits and everything. And you guys got some great state parks and some national park and stuff. So you might as well, you know, like that's a good opportunity for you, man. It's just taking the time to develop it and research things and get the development in place. Get some program syllabus written up. Um, and you got to do some liability waiver stuff too, and like things like that and whatnot. But I mean, it's not terribly hard or too complex for that kind of stuff. You're providing a service. You know, um, huge opportunity there, though, dude. So if you end up building the moxie to go forth and do it, man, do it. You got my support. Freaking do it. You make it work, especially if there's no if there's nothing like that in your area. That's a good thing to capitalize on. Yeah, I don't see why you couldn't be a product tester for me and ACR Gen X. Yeah, absolutely. You want to test some products? Go for it, dude. ACR, you know how to sew? Who are you directing that at, ACR? Me or Gen X? Yeah, if you know how to sew, I mean, the materials are available. I'm telling you, man, this Cordura 1000D stuff is freaking awesome. I love that. It's so rugged. It's awesome. Great ruggedness to it. The 600D stuff too, like the slings that Swift is making and stuff, really, really rugged too. Like this stuff is durable. It's rugged. A lot of people dismiss it, but material wise, it's. I'm impressed. Gen X, all the good shit in Indiana is way south of me. You're in the cornfields. Still, you have all those tree breaks and stuff. Like you've got these little patches of forest. You got the windbreaks and stuff. And northern Indiana has some beautiful parks, especially because you're getting river and Great Lake Valley area and stuff. Like, there's some beautiful terrain up there. Freaking take advantage of it, man. Sheep Kishore, what's up, dude? Thanks for tuning in. I did answer your community post questions earlier, apart from the update video I had put out on Monday, but I did answer your community post questions earlier. So you want to rewatch. But any response from Rainier Fabrics about them using incorrect print file? Yeah, yeah. I got a hold of Dorothy for the D pattern, the desert pattern. Yeah. They thought they had switched over the corrected files, but I guess they hadn't for that one. So they're getting that figured out. She says she was waiting. I assume that was you. She's waiting for a response from you on that. Probably going to do a test print just to make sure that it is the corrected file. And if it still doesn't look right, I'm going to do a quick, takes 20 minutes to do a quick file correction so that we I can make sure that it's printing the way that I need it to be, that it's supposed to be. So we're going to get that figured out and get it reprinted for you. They're going to get that reprinted for you. So I was adamant about that. I was like, not happy with it. The sample I saw was too dark, and I was like, they either didn't switch over to the file or there's still something going on with the CMYK file, and that needs to be corrected. So that's quality control, needs to happen. So that's transparency there. But yeah, we're getting that figured out. Gen X Gemini, there's a small state park about 40 miles from you. You just do horse camping up there. Oh, nice. That's awesome. I grew up around horses a little bit. My sister rode English saddle for a long time. Do I have some family friends that got horses? That's pretty cool. Horse camping. Yeah, it's got to be a pretty big state park to be able to do horse camping. That's cool. Yeah, was you okay? I was commissioning a friend. Yeah, okay, for EDC packet of Freck TD. Still give you the commission in order going because now it's a one of a kind. Yeah, I figured. Yeah, after you had told me on Instagram, I was like, okay, I guess there was provenance and a misprint like that. Um, I'm happy that you're okay with that. I'm still, for transparency's sake and quality control sake and integrity and everything else, it's like, look, I need to make sure that that's corrected with the printer with Rainier so that it doesn't happen in the future, because I need to make sure that everything's good to go, because I've got some other big partners coming soon too, and I need to make sure the prints are good, so that I can do really quick corrections and and get it to where it needs to be. But if I don't have to do that with the corrections I already have in files for them, good to go. If I do need to do more corrections on a couple of the pattern files, that's fine. Part of their mistake was with not doing initial test prints for some of the patterns. They only did it for a couple of them, and a couple of them look good. They should have done it for all of them. But obviously that's money out of the pocket kind of thing, so, but now we're having to do test prints now, which is okay, so it's just getting little tiny hiccups that get figured out, so, again, super easy for me to do quick corrections on those and get it figured out. So, it's not like it's the end of the world or anything. It's just order gets delayed by a day. Ooh, whatever. Not even a day on my end, but like for them. Yeah, it's cool. I That's cool. I'm glad, but I'm glad you have that mindset. Like, hey, this is rare now, so it's I can appreciate that. So, it did come out darker than it should be, by far. So, I'm really glad you let me know about that, because I was like, no, that needs fixed right away. That's unacceptable. Um, so, yep, we're getting it figured out. I appreciate it. It's quick. So. Gen X, there's still fingernail prints in the English saddle you used. Giggity, get. See what you did there. I think the biggest thing, as a side note too, with when it comes to printing systems and printing styles and techniques, especially CMYK format, which is the older format of color spectrum for printing, actually it has a lot of problems with printing anything heavy in greens, which is interesting. So that's always a challenge with no matter who the printer is. Like CMYK printing greens is actually kind of difficult because of the dye types and stuff, and just that file format for printing. Um, it usually ends up taking a lot more for greens to pop the way they should. The PS pattern print that I saw of my material looked great. Very happy with it. Um, I don't know why the D pattern came out as dark as it did in that misprint. But I did lightness correct a file, so we'll see what happens. But I don't know why that one did, because that's obviously very heavy with like yellows and stuff. Because it's a desert pattern, There's browns in there too, obviously, but none of that should have relegated such a considerable misprint. There was an HW misprint that was considerable too, and I had mentioned that. But it was Boga Bushido who had ordered some of that, and it came out super. It almost looked like a Frac black, like a HW black. It was crazy, but a pipe hitter associate of ours doing things overseas requested him make some stuff in that misprint because it matched multicam black and other black equipment that they were using. So he made them and sent them. So some of my misprinted pattern in equipment is already being used by professionals overseas, which I thought was really cool. So kind of that rare provenance again. So what's the flag behind me? That is the U.S. Army flag. Yeah, in person, your friend said the fabric looked more darkish green. Yeah, yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, so something happened because CMYK stands for the dye base colors in the spectrum that the printers use. So it's cyan, magenta, yellow, and then I always forget what the K stands for. Um, so again, it's not straight like what you would see with sRGB files for high-end inkjet printing and things like that, and then some sRGB file is used for some roller and screen printing and stuff too. Um, so it's quite different, the mixture of dyes and stuff for the printers. And with the CMYK conversion, again, it's an older format, and it is actually for the printers themselves. They have CMYK specific monitors to look at the colors and stuff. So it's quite different from what you see with normal design, which is usually almost all nowadays sRGB, which is modern color profile format. Much larger scope of colors that are used in that, like spectrum of colors that are used in that. Um, CMYK is a bit different because it's more old school dye based with that file format. So, and that's just the printers that they have as far as digital printers go, which is fine. It's just sometimes there's a crossing of how how their system reads the color profile of the file for that CMYK stuff. So then it's like, okay, a quick correction needs to be made. Again, it doesn't take long. So sometimes it's a little trial and error, especially when it comes to design stuff with that. Print shops have had that issue for decades, when it comes to CMYK printing, all the way back to when stuff was starting to be printed like that, which is back in what, the 1910s, 1920s, maybe even a little after, maybe the 50s. I'm not entirely sure on the entire history of that printing, but you know, it's quite a bit different than modern printing is. Both do. There's companies out there, that do either or, obviously. Um, because CMYK is still prevalent and very popular. Even printers for books, posters, um, CD booklets, and CD, trays and all that stuff. Like, so some out there still do CMYK printing for that as well. So it's still a conventional thing. Um, It's just different from what a lot of modern printing capabilities are. It's just different. Says it began seeing use back in 1906. Okay, so yeah, okay, there we go. Yeah, I'm not doing a lot of looking up while I'm in the live here, but okay, so yeah, so right around that time, like 1910s, like late 1900s, 1910s, like when that kind of started. Yeah, that makes sense. So turn of the century, industrial revolution and its consequences. Um, turn of the century. Modern technologies for then, or conventional technologies for then. So things have changed a lot since then because like sRGB, that printing style has been around since the 80s. So late 70s, early 80s. sRGB has been around. So with the convention of modern inkjet printers and computers and everything. So um, yep. So it's just two. There's two types. Um, like the other printer I did for some of the test prints, like I made the test ponchos and stuff out of ripstop by the roll. They do sRGB file printing. So there's two different printers using two different formats. The other textile printer that I'm talking to trying to get that partnership that has Nyko and other ripstops and then other nylon goods and other material types like SAM1 and things like that. Even some of the laminates. Um, they do a number of different types of printing. So they have those capabilities. So it's like, it just depends on who you go to and what they're using. So there we go. Now the more it's a very involved process, and trying to figure that out. I did, yeah. So I've been talking, and I kind of mentioned it in the update video I did on Monday. But yeah, so yes, I answered your question earlier in the live stream. So if you want to go rewatch it, I'll rehash it here real quick though, because I got time. Still got about 20 minutes. Um, so there's another textile provider and printer that I've been talking to. It's just a different. It's just taking a lot longer because their process is different. They're one of the major printers and distributors here in the U.S. So they are set up more for like your MOQ, minimum order quantity kind of thing, which full rolls are not cheap. I don't have the capacity for that logistically or financially. And a lot of smaller companies don't either. So I've been talking with them. I'm still going to do the strike off or test prints, which are about $500 a pop to do with them. We'll be doing a W pattern strike off sometime soon. I was waiting for them to get undyed material in so that we could do strike offs. But I've been trying to talk with them and kind of twist their arm a little bit to start a direct order retail type platform like Camo Fabric Depot that Shot Fabrics runs, which is another one of them here in the US. Unfortunately, they're not able to work with me. I know some of the people over there, they're great people, but they just have too much on their plate right now. Textile industry is kind of hurting right now. Um, and there's just a lot, only so much that companies could take on. But this other company I'm talking to is another major textile provider here in the US. So talking with them, it's a very slow process though, because they're not set up the same way as Rainier is, with the ease of no MOQ direct order opportunity for small businesses and DIYers. So I'm trying to twist this other company's arm to get something like that set up because they've been considering it already. They've talked about it, and it's like I think myself and a couple other camo companies out there, I think would and on the other side of it, the buyer base, the gear company base and stuff, like there's a lot of smaller companies I've been talking to that want that. I think if they had listened to them and listened to their consumer, it would do very well for them. So, but other than that, yeah, we're still kind of in that process. It's a very slow process and trying to figure things out. So, exactly, Gen X, knowing is half the battle. The other half is violence. So, it's just a different process because they're structured differently. They're a much bigger company, and but they offer the printing capabilities that I need for my patterns. So we're getting there. It's just a slow process. Um, with these big companies, nothing's happening overnight. It's easy for me on my end because I'm a one man show, and I've got all my ducks in a row for uh, documents and for licensing contracts and all that stuff. Like I have all that, but it's it's figuring out when they get material in, and then figuring out what is the best course of action to be able to make this accessible without it hurting anyone involved financially. Logistically, it doesn't make sense for me to order stuff with money I don't have to store somewhere that I don't own or have space for, and then have to ship it again to another company. You know, the more direct pipeline without having to be a middleman in that makes a lot more sense. It's a lot easier for everyone. It keeps logistics costs down, and like a number of other things. So, so it's just kind of getting that stuff figured out, trying to figure out the best route for that to happen. Aside from, excuse me, aside from uh, just the initial process of test printing and making sure that everything's good to go, and then we can start a licensing agreement. So I'm still kind of in the throes of that. So the people I've been talking to over there have been awesome, really nice dudes. And yeah, the things are good. They like the patterns and everything, so that's all positive. It's just a slow process as far as anything business wise related goes, for doing that kind of stuff. So we're getting there eventually. It just takes time, and they want to see metrics too of like, hey, how many partners do I have? What kind of things are they moving? Half the partners I have right now are custom order partners. So but more partners are coming on. So when they see that and providing even more variety of material types on top of what's already available, like that's nothing but good. So it's just a you know uh, economic and bureaucratic process, which is fine. It just takes time. Um, After you do the Frec TW, when will you do a test sample run of Frec TD? Well, that would be with this other textile provider that I'm still kind of in the throes of trying to do even an initial strike off, and then figuring out licensing from there. But as far as Rainier Fabrics goes, that's on them. I don't know because I don't have anything to do with the printing. They just license the patterns from me, and it's making sure that, like I was talking about, this file format stuff and color profile and all that. It's making sure that the files are correct so that the prints are coming out the way they should, as I require them um to to just be correct under my licensing and stuff. So um should be happening here shortly because I had sent them the files, so they're double checking. I think they're just going to do a test print. So I don't know. I mean, probably tomorrow, maybe today, I don't know. Probably tomorrow though. They'll do a test print, and then we'll get that figured out. So, and if it's still not, if for some reason with the test print with the corrected file that that is overriding the other file, if for some reason there's still an issue with it, I'll just have to do a rapid quick correction and then kind of go from there. I'm going to end up having to pay for a couple of test prints. I'm just going to have them take it out of my royalties, you know. But I want to make sure that they're correct. The other prints have come out correct. So I don't know what the issue is with the D pattern. Um, but hopefully after this next test print, I'll figure out what's going on with that. Um, I don't know what happened with it. It just came out dark. So again, probably just a file misread on their machine with the CMYK file. Probably just a file misread of some kind. But I did a lightness correction to it and stuff, so we'll see what happens. If it needs corrected again, I can do that Ricky tick. So and then I'll figure out another figure them doing out. I will figure out how to have them do another test print, then make sure that's all good. The other part of your question, also for now, will you only be pursuing 50/50 Nyko, or will you consider pursuing both Nyko and Nyko Extreme? It's whatever this other company as a offers in their catalog of textile bases. It's whatever they offer. I know they offer a couple of different ripstops. So I would assume, yeah, that they probably have that. I know that again, they have other materials too, like Sam One and some of that stuff. They even carry some of the X-Pac stuff and and that too. So I would assume that they have some of the Nyko Extreme as well. So um, next time I talk to them, I'll hopefully do another meeting call with them and kind of figure that stuff out, because we're getting about to that time where I can pay for that strike off. And then we could talk about licensing and stuff. So um, apart from those other things that I've kind of been talking about on and off here. So but yeah, they have a pretty big catalog of different materials that they offer. So for this other potential printer and supplier. So yep, it's just things have to happen in a certain order. So that's the nature, not just in the textile industry, but especially on this side with camouflages and stuff. Like you know, there's a certain way that things have to be done. So both to make sure that it's going to be good to go, and also that all the bases are covered and that licensing is done in the right order. All the legal T's are crossed and I's are dotted and all that stuff, and then going from there, marketing and everything else. So and production runs and everything. So yeah, it takes time. It's a considerable jump with this uh second prospect provider coming on. It's a considerable jump in capability and expansion of materials and access. So Gen X sounds like a PETA pain in the ass. I mean, yeah, it is. But it's a necessary process. That's just how it is. Um, it's been it's been pretty fortuitous and serendipitous for me to be able to get Rainier, which I was referred by Pete from Tact Wrap, um, to get Rainier fabrics on when I did back in September, October last year. Because I've been looking for almost probably 5 months for a printer, and then I was referred to them, and they jumped on board in a couple of weeks. Good to go. So got poly bases covered. Got you know in general has been quality prints that I've been happy with and stuff, and the material is great. So that was good. That was a great launching point, and they've been a pretty good partner. So now it's just a huge step. You know, it is Sheep Kashur. That's who I'm talking to. Yes. I don't, as far as they go, I'm not doing a name drop because nothing's official to be announced yet or anything, but that is who I'm talking to. They're really good people over there. So that's the process, is dealing with a very big company like that in the US. Gen X, I almost named your dog PETA. Yeah. Yeah. That the MMI Textiles people are really, really good people. They are. I had a great conference call with them a couple of months back, and I've just been waiting for them to tell me that they have undyed material in, so we can do a strike off and then go from there. Pita. I mean, it's got multiple meanings. Pita bread is delicious. You know, pita is also kind of a name that's common in Latin America and other places. So it's got great multiple meanings. um, supposedly there's 6 people in here right now. Wife made you name the dog Athena. Hey, that's a good name too. I approve. It's a good name. Athena is a good name. Greek goddess of love. Also, a couple other things, because with epic polytheistic deities, they usually kind of handle a couple of different duties. She's a good PETA. That's good. That's good. Good doggo. I love doggos. You like dogs? I like dogs. You didn't know they cover clothing textiles? Yeah. Yeah, their Sam One fabric is good. Tactic Cloak, who wants to become a partner with me as well. That's their material they use. But yes, they do. They can and do ripstops. Yeah. At least that's what they told me. So I'm trusting them on that. So, dude, I like all animals, Gen X. Most metalheads like all animals. I have a cat. I do love cats. Yes, cats are great. But I've grown up around all kinds of animals my entire life, and I love being outside, and you know, enjoying the wildlife and everything. But like, I like all animals personally. I like all animals. Like, they're great. But yes, metalheads do like cats. Metalheads do like dogs. Metalheads like whatever. Everybody's got their likes of animals. Like some have hamsters, some have ferrets, some have rats, some have snakes, some have dogs, some have cats. Like whatever. You love cats and like dogs. Okay, that's fair. I love them both. They're great. They're great. Great animals. Whenever I do move into a bigger place, I hope to get a dog at some point. You consider yourself a metalhead. Okay. What are your favorite death metal bands? They could be old school or new. Give me some of your favorite death metal bands. Got about 3 to 5 minutes here in the live before calling it, and then going and having supper here soon. Any final questions or topics? Fire away, rapid fire mode here, so I can get them taken care of. I am into heavier stuff than you. Yes. Heavy as you go is Lamb of God. The vocalist Randy Blythe also did session or did live vocals for a time and does some cameo vocals for a death metal band called Cannabis Corpse. Go check them out. You'll get a kick out of them. Knowing you, Gen X, you get a kick out of them. Solid band. But that's another band that Randy's been involved with because they're kind of from that they're all homies from like that Virginia kind of area. It's like Cannibal Corpse, but Cannabis Corpse. You'll get a you'll have a laugh, but you'll enjoy it too because it's good music. Yeah, see, you know him. Yeah, Randy's did live vocals for a time with them, and he's done a couple of appearances on some of their stuff too. Yeah, good. So I don't know if you've seen that, but look them up. Look them up on YouTube. Like, there's videos out there. Um, yeah. Anything else? Last call for any questions or topics of discussion to rapid fire here in the next like 2 minutes. Anything you got, fire away. Fire away. I'll check out your workout playlist, Gen X. I will do that. We'll check it out for sure. I think you're in Tin Man Metal's group chat too, aren't you? If you're not, you should get in there because I'll share some stuff with you too. Favorite Cold War camo aside from M81? Rhodesian brushstroke. Probably too late for me. I mean, hey, I can appreciate the classics and stuff, but yeah, I listen to a lot of heavy stuff, man. That's for sure. Heavy and fast, or slow and heavy. Like there's great doom metal out there. Ahab, Buried at Sea, my band Pythonism, uh, Bong Ripper, um, freaking Amen Ra. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff out there, man, in all subgenres. Yeah, you're old. Whatever. You boomer? No. I'm kidding. All right. Okay. I think I'm gonna call it here. Final point troglodyte. So yeah, Rhodesian brushstroke would be the next, and then I do love DPM and Flecktarn as well. So the big OGs as far as Cold War camos go. I don't mind some of the like Mediterranean lizard patterns either. They're pretty cool. 52. Yeah, you're old fart. No, I'm kidding. You're a good dude. I'm gonna call it here. Thank you all for tuning in and shooting the breeze, having these good discussions. I really did appreciate doing having some of the business discussion here, and like it, I like being able to put out that transparency and insight into how things work. That's been really awesome. So I appreciate the discussions here with that as much as anything else. Um, you always loved Italy's camo that they copied from the Paris to the army. Yeah, for sure. Solid. Vegetato is pretty cool pattern too, I gotta say. Um, anyways, we're gonna call it here. We're gonna call it here. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for all the great questions, topics of discussion, the camaraderie, hanging out, being a good group of people, having a good time, getting the brain juices going, providing insights, learning, transparency, understanding how businesses work, everything. I appreciate it. I appreciate all of you, and thank you very much for tuning in. With that, hold on, oh, okay. They moved everything in the YouTube studio here. With that, thank you all for tuning in. More good stuff coming soon. Next Q&A live stream for my channel will be next month. I'll probably end up on somebody else's live stream at some point, so keep an eye out. But with that, metal up. Out.